What's up, YouTube? Capital G here, Duel commentary. I try scissors as always. He picks rock, so I'm going second. I don't show his rating. That's very uncharacteristic of me. Anyways, it looks like I'm playing my Inzektor deck. I've got Pop Duality, Allure of Darkness, Foolish Burial, Tomato, and Wabaku. This is a really good opening hand, especially with the duality, because duality gives me another Inzektor, possibly. Then I'd have Inzektor plus Foolish. I could dump the Tomato if I get my Inzektor with Allure, so a lot of draw power plus some protection. He opens with Tour Guide. I'm thinking maybe Chaos Dragons or Dark World. Those are the main two decks that play Tour Guide. And he goes Tour Guide, Tour Guide. I don't have Max C. He goes straight into Zen mains. I think he's just going to, okay, excuse me. He sets one card in his back row and passes turn. I draw Gigamantis, so of course I'm ready to activate that Pod Duality. I see Dark Hole, no good. MST, probably. And Armageddon Knight. I've got Foolish Burial in my hand, so Armageddon Knight is no good. I'll go ahead and take the MST, just because when you're playing the unknown, MST is always a good card. I mean, I really can't think of a deck that doesn't play 3 copies of MST right now. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to set the MST, set the Tomato. I might set Wabaku too. Yeah, I'll go ahead and set Wabaku and just pass turn. If he just rams into the Tomato, I can get Dragonfly and I can pretty much just light his field up. But if it gets popped, that might be a little bit of a problem. He rips another Tour Guide, and I'm like, oh fuck, what is this now? You know what I mean? I think, and when he shows me his target for Tour Guide, I'll definitely know what he's playing, because it's either going to be a Brow or it'll be like a Night Assailant, Tour Bus, some garbage like that. Maybe, I guess, maybe Wind-Ups, But anyways, it's Brow, so obviously I know that I'm playing against Dark World. If I was him, I'd probably go for Ghost Trick Alicord, and I'd try and blow up the face-down monster. Let's see what he tries to do. He doesn't have anything banished. He already has his Zenbanes out for defense, and that's what he does. He goes for Ghost Trick Alicord. I was actually going to make a video a while ago saying that Ghost Trick Alicord was like one of the best new Xyz in the entire game of Yu-Gi-Oh! I might still make that video. He goes for a back row, which I thought was really, really stupid, but I mean, he goes for it. He hits my MST, which I chain, and then I force him to use Reckless Greed. Here's the problem: he's already normal summoned. So when you use Reckless Greed, you'd really like to have already or to have not committed to your normal summon. Now, granted, he did hit gates to the Dark World, and I wish I could have saved that MST, which means he draws a card. He's able to get the graph out of his hand. He goes for, again, he's trying to get rid of all my back row. He leaves me the Tomato on board. Maybe he has another Grapha. He can't summon Grapha because he already normal summoned. Well, maybe he can, because he has Dark World dealings. And he hits another Grapha, and I'm like, wow. So, anyways, I'm going to lose my Tomato already. I already know that. I'm probably going to dump Gigamantis because I have no Inzektors. And at least with Monk, there is, a potential live play there. If I dump the Allure of Darkness, I can get to, what's it called? I can get to Hopper, but I mean, it's not a great position, to be honest, because he still has Zen mains on board. We'll see what I do. But my first inclination is probably to dump the Gigamantis, because I'm going to lose Centipede, I'm going to lose Mystic Tomato anyway, so I already know that I won't have anything on board. The only thing that is really in my favor here is that he can't get those Graphas on board, and even if he could right now, I mean, I wouldn't take any damage, but at least, he set back a turn per se. Something like a Centipede would be nice. And he is under Reckless Greed. He's lucky Heavy Storm isn't fucking legal. I wish I had Heavy Storm right now. Anyways, my only play right now is to go for the Summoner Monk play. I'm going to pitch the Allure because I obviously don't have any darks in my hand, because I had to summon that dark. Now, I could have allured and hoped to draw, like, a better Inzektor monster, but I felt like the odds were telling me that this was a better play, because if I got rid of the Monk, I would just have nothing on board. It just wouldn't be bad, or it just would be bad. So anyways, I play Foolish. I'm going to dump the dump the Hornet. I think I should probably go after Gates, because it's like it's the known factor here. Those back row cards could be more Reckless Greeds and stuff like that. At least I know if I hit the Gates that I have definitively ended that card. So I go for Battle Phase. I'm trying to get rid of Alicord, pop Gates, and then in main phase 2, I think I would make Black Ship of Corn and take care of the Zen mains. And that way I get rid of 3 cards on his field for this play that really wasn't a great play, to be honest. And even though he had 2 back row, I still was able to get through it because I don't respect your back row in Dark World. I mean, you can have 50 cards in your back row. I'm still going to attack. I don't give a fuck. I mean, I don't think that deck plays Mirror Force, or at least it hasn't historically, so why would I fear a Mirror Force or something like that? So you see that I got rid of 2 cards now. Right now, I'm either going to go for Dweller or Black Ship of Corn. Oh, no, wait. Excuse me. I don't go for either one. I think, okay, yeah, I go for Lavalval Chain. Yeah, okay, I'm going for Dragonfly. I'm putting Dragonfly on top of my deck. And you know what? I guess that's because this, at least if I go for Dragonfly, and he has Reckless Greed, so it's a good thing I didn't try and go for the back row. This way, at least, if I go for Dragonfly, if I survive this turn, I can get rid of his field. I'm not quite sure why I left Fiendish Chain on board. Oh, no, that's why, because, you know what? I don't know why I left Fiendish Chain on board. It doesn't really matter now. Alright, so he plays, he summons Beige, he bounces, so obviously my Lavalval Chain is going down. He plays Dark World Dealings, which is actually the reason me leaving Fiendish Chain in my hand was actually a good thing, because it would have forced me to discard my Dragonfly, which means me summoning Lavalval Chain just would have been for naught. Alright, so he gets another Gates. At this point, he should just be able to win. You know, I mean, even though he's under Reckless, he only has 1 more turn for Reckless. I mean, dude's he's at least about to summon double Grapple on me. You know what I mean? Because he has 2 Graphas in graveyard. He normal summon, but yeah, he's able to use Beige again using the Beige special effect. So he has double Grapha. Now, what he could go into is he could just attack with everybody and then go into the rank 8. The one that makes it so that cards are unaffected by effects. He could go into that guy. That guy is really, really good. I think it's like, what does he have, like 2,800 attack? Or he's either 28 or 3K. The card is really good against Inzektors. And that, I would assume that's what he's going to go into, because he can just get those Graphas back after he detaches them with Beige. I mean, he pretty much has an unlimited amount of summons. He doesn't do that. I drew Pot of Duality, which is just fabulous with Dragonfly, right? Like, I couldn't have gotten an MST, and I'm just scooping it up. I don't see myself coming back from that, so let's go into the side deck. We're going to side in Bottomless, we're going to side in Deep Prison, we're going to side in Soul Drain, and what are we taking out? We're taking out Tomato. I swear to goodness, every time I side in D-Fissure, the next fucking card I draw is Mystic Tomato. No lie, like every single time. And I only run 1 Tomato in this deck, so I think that's all I'm siding. I maybe should have sided in Dust Tornadoes and taken out the Max C's, because the only thing I can Max C in his deck that I saw was Tour Guide, and he could be boarding in Skill Drain, which, you know, the Max C's aren't going to be very good if he boards in Skill Drain, so, you know, whatever. This is one of my older versions of Inzektors. I don't play the deck anymore. I don't play the deck. Like, Overworked is just... Overworked is way too real right now. I gave up on Inzektors. It's still a very fun deck to play, but just on that high competitive level, I don't know about that. Anyway, so I have Duality, Call to Haunted Allure, Insect Imitation, MST, Fiendish Chain, and let's see. My Duality hits Monk, Wabaku, and Dark Arm. Can't take Dark Arm because I have no Darks. And Wabaku doesn't really do anything if I don't have a board. At least with the Monk, I can just go ahead, allure it away. I can potentially draw some better cards. And, you know, I'd rather keep my Dark Arm Dragon in my deck. I can get rid of a Summoner Monk. I mean, I played 2 of them for, you know, Pete's sake. So, I'm just going to set MST, Fiendish Chain, and Call to Haunted. I've got double Insect Imitation in my hand. That is no bueno. We need to get rid of that. He plays Upstart Goblin, which I'm starting to realize is like auto-staple in every deck in the format now. You know, speed and advantage over damage. You know, I've always believed in that. So, let's see. It's still 6 on 6. He summons Tour Guide, and I'm like, whoa, good thing that I left that Max C in randomly, right? So, this could be what I needed to get my deck going, except I draw his Excalibur, and I'm like, okay, great. I still have no Inzektor monsters, so that's no good. Now, I'm guessing he's going to attack for 24, and if I was him, I would just pass. You know, but no, you know what? I go into Zen mains. I'd give the Inzektor player the extra card. You know, I guess it's kind of hard for me to make that call based on what his hand is. So you're gonna see he's gonna try and push in for the 2400, which I'm perfectly fine with. If he goes into Zen mains, I'm cool because I've got Phoenix Chain there. Or if he tries to go into Ghost Trick Alicord, I've got the Phoenix Chain. He goes into Zen mains, and I drew yet another Summoner Monk. This time, Monk isn't awful because I can at least go into like Armageddon Knight or something like that and get something in the graveyard. He sets 1. I'm going to MST that. Or I can go, you know what, I can go into the Volvo Chain too also. Yeah, put like Dragonfly on top of my deck. So you're seeing I'm going into Monk. I'm going to discard Insect Imitation because that shit is not doing anything. 2 Insect Imitation with no Inzektors is definitely no good. I think I'm looking for, this time I'm looking for Armageddon Knight. Armageddon Knight is going to dump, it's going to dump Hornet into my graveyard. Now I think I've got 1 dark in my graveyard. I've got Hornet. So I might actually put, what's it called? I might actually put Dark Arm on the top of my deck. It's either going to be Dark Arm or Dragonfly. Those would be the only 2 options that I'm looking at. I decided to put Dragonfly on top. I don't know why I added it to my hand, considering I'm going to have to put it on field anyway to put it at the top of my deck. And I'm just going to pass turn. Maybe I'll set Torrential. Nope, I don't set Torrential, I'll just pass turn. So I've got, Call of the Haunted and Phoenix Chain. Those are 2 definitely good cards. Anytime you have Dragonfly plus Call of the Haunted is really, really good because you can just light your opponent's entire field up, assuming that they don't like effect value you. Like, you'd rather your Dragonfly just like get Torrential or some shit because you just bring it right back. You don't want your Dragonfly to have to sit on board and then take a whole bunch of just take an ass whooping. He's loading up his back row with spells or traps, knowing that I have Dragonfly, which makes me think that those are Reckless Greed. So what I'm probably gonna do is just ignore them. I might go after them. He chains, let's see. Now when I equipped, he chained Dark Smog. And yeah, he tries, okay, that's what he does. He banishes, what's it called? Or alright. Here's what happens. He chains Dark Smog, and I chain Call of the Haunted to what's it called? I chain Call of the Haunted for my my Hornet. So obviously I don't want my Hornet getting banished. If Hornet gets banished, it's basically game over for me. So, I'm guessing that, I'm going to let him continue with his Dark Smog. He can banish, Armageddon Knight. I don't give a fuck about Armageddon Knight. So I'm telling him, I'm like, hey, use your Dark Smog now. I really want to see what he's going to discard, because if he discards Grapha, I would assume he's going to blow up my, what's it called? I assume he's going to blow up my Dragonfly. It wouldn't be awful because I have Zexcalibur, so I can get the Dragonfly back. I could Insect Imitation the Hornet, go into Hopper. I could pop the Dark Smog, during main phase 2, or excuse me, still during my main phase 1, and that's exactly what he does. He plays Dark Smog, he gets rid of, or gets the Grapha out of his hand, and now he just has to target. He targets the Hornet for what reason? I have no fucking clue. Call of the Haunted goes with it, and now I'm like, okay, well now I'm going to use Effect Dragonfly, and obviously I want to get rid of Dark Smog, because that's the card that's going to cause me all the problems. Oh, he has to remove something in my graveyard. So let's see. Now, let's see. He removes Armageddon Knight. Now I think he could have. I'm not sure. I think he could have removed the what's it called? I think he could have removed the Hornet. So, anyways, I'm getting rid of his face down card since it's already a known, or it's already known that I can bring out Centipede and pop the Dark Smog. He plays Gates of the Dark World, Gateway of the Dark World to get his Grapha back on board. Grapha is the card that I definitely don't care about. I'm just going to get rid of all his, all his purple cards first. Get rid of Dark Smog. I think I'm going to pull, I think probably I'm going to pull either Ladybug from my deck so that I can use Insect Imitation, or I might pull Centipede. Because the thing is, that Insect Imitation is going to be dead in my hand pretty much for a while. I'm looking at Inzektor's Sword. I don't really know why. I think that either Centipede or Ladybug would be much better plays. I think Ladybug's the best play here because I can go Ladybug, Pop, then I can go Insect Imitation, and then I can get a Centipede right from my deck. Otherwise, Insect Imitation, like I said, it's just going to be dead the entire game. I'm looking at my Banish Zone just to see if I could have, done some nice little tricks with potentially with Levier. I don't really see Levier being an option. I think the best scenario right here, considering he has Graffle on board, is probably to go Tempo, which is not what I do. I go into Levier, and let's see what the hell I'm trying to do. Oh, okay, that's what I was doing. Yes, okay, I'm sorry. I went for Monk. Oh, yeah, okay. That's how I got the Insect Imitation out of my hand. Wow, I did not even, wow, I didn't see that play. Got it. I go in the Hopper, off the Monk. Monk blows up Grapha, and now I can go into Abyss Dweller, and knowing that I had the Phoenix Chain for the Zen Maze. Sorry. Sometimes I play these games, and it'll be like 2 weeks, and I'll be like, man, what the hell was I thinking on that play? You know what I mean? And then it's like, wow, that play even shocked me. So that was actually a really, really good play, and yeah, it was good because I got rid of the Levier, or excuse me, I got rid of that Insect Imitation, and I was able to put Abyss Dweller on board. So his only option right now is to have a Dark World in his hand and to try and summon Grapha back that way. If he tries to use any discarding effect, I'm just going to Abyss Dweller it, and that'll just be the end of that. And worst case scenario, I still have Centipede and Sword in my hand in case, I have to like torrential the entire field. I still have a way to come back and get back into the game. So, advantage, a huge advantage me right now. So, I think he's probably just thinking if he had a Dark World to just normal summon, I imagine that just would have been the first thing that he did, because you got to think about it. If you have a Dark World right now and the summon doesn't go through, you might as well just scoop. If the summon does go through, you know that you have to attack Abyss Dweller, because Abyss Dweller is the card that makes it so your deck can't play. And if I'm him, not only would I try to attack with Graph, I would try to attack with Zen Mains too. I'd make you prove to me that your 2 back row are 2 cards that can answer my attack. So he's sitting here, he's thinking. Dark World versus Inzektors. I would say it's in Inzektors' favor because cards like Dark World Dealings actually let you get things like Hornet and Hopper and Ladybug into the graveyard. They don't really hurt your deck at all. I mean, Skill Drain is really the biggest asset that they have. He summons Chance Archfiend, and I'm like, okay, that's perfectly fine. He's probably going to try and use the effect, and you see that I'm using my effect. So his Grapha won't get off, obviously. And yeah, he does exactly what he was supposed to do. He puts both monsters into attack mode because he's trying to force me into using both of my removal cards to protect my Abyss Dweller, which you only have 1 card in hand. I don't need to protect the Abyss Dweller anymore. All I needed was to negate 1 card. The fact that I negated that Grapha, that's all I needed. You know what I mean? That negating that Grapha was perfectly fine. I'll eat that damage. Now, what I won't probably do is I won't let the Zen Mains go off. I'll Phoenix Chain the Zen Mains. Actually, I'll let him take the attack, and then when he moves to main phase 2, that's when I'll Phoenix Chain it, because there's no sense. Like, I might as well just let him eat the 300. You know what I mean? I'll let him detach and all of that. Then I'll just Phoenix Chain when he tries to blow up a card. Yeah, see? Now I'm going to Phoenix Chain him. I mean, the Phoenix Chain was going to get used on the Zen Mains either way. I might as well let him eat the 300. Now, looking at my positioning, I'd probably say that I'm in a good position to just win right now. He doesn't have anything banished for Trance Archfiend. He's asking, do I use the Phoenix Chain after or before he attacks? And I'm like, no, after you attack. Take the 300. You can see Levier can get me Armageddon Knight, which I don't really need. It's just more or less a beat stick, to be honest. You see, I'm going into Summon Centipede. I'm going to play, and actually, excuse me, I'm not going to play anything. He just scoops it up. That's just one of those games where he couldn't get Grapha going, and I had way too much board presence. His Zen Mains didn't really do anything for him. So, yeah, I was just able to take that game. Going second, yes, see, that's what I thought I was going to do last game. Take out the Maxis for Dust Tornadoes, just because Gates is a problem, and you never know when you're going to see Skill Drain. I was thinking about siding Monk, but yeah, okay, excuse me. I'm going to side Monk. I'm going to side one Monk for Max C. I don't really like keeping two Monks in because the thing is, it's like your deck already loses hard to Effect Veiler, and Monk just gives your opponent more Effect Veiler targets. And when your Monk gets Effect Veiler, it hurts to holy hell. So, a lot of times if I'm going first, like in game 3, I will automatically side out Monk because turn 1 Monk is okay, but it's not like, it's not, you know, overpowering. It's not like great or anything. This is a really good hand. Even going second, I've got Torrential. I've got Dust Tornado for the gates. I've got a way to get my my Centipede back if it dies, and then obviously I have a way to trigger Centipede. Not the preferred way. The preferred way is obviously Hornet, but it is a way nonetheless. So right now it's 6 on 5, and let's see what he does. Hopefully he'll activate something like Dark World Dealings. Let me put that Hopper into the graveyard and get a free card. He starts off with Trench Archfiend, and I'm like, that's fine. The fact that he went into beige, I'm like, cool. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you're about to exceed, which means you're just wasting cards because there is no good exceed as far as rank 3s and 4s. There's no good exceed against Inzektors. There just isn't. You know what I mean? Well, excuse me. once Ragna comes out in Primal Origins, I mean that card is just going to be fucking nuts against Inzektors. But as of right now, you know, there isn't. So he goes into Master Key Beetle, and I'm thinking that he's either going to want to protect the Skill Drain or he's going to want to protect Gates of the Dark World. Either way, it's like that Master Key Beetle was not a hard card to kill for Inzektors. If I have Hornet, it's a wrap, boy. It's a wrap. Like you're gonna lose your Master Key Beetle. Shortly after, you're gonna lose your Gates. I think maybe he thinks, okay, well, I'd rather lose my Master Key Beetle than lose my lose my Gates. Now he did have the benefit of making Master Key Beetle and then activating the Gates, so that definitely helped. But you know, he had to summon another beige, like opening 2 beiges with no what's it called? What do you call that card? With no Grapha in sight, that's not good. So you see here that I'm not respecting his back row. I just summoned straight into it. I'm going to get Hornet, or excuse me, I'm going to get I'm going to activate Centipede's effect off the Hopper. I'm going for Hornet. The reason I'm going for Hornet here is because I have Call of the Haunted. So if my Centipede dies, I'm good. If he has something like a Skill Drain, I can Dust Tornado it. Right now, I'm pretty much just banking on my back row being able to protect me for a good portion of time. I'm hoping that he won't have any, that he won't have any surprises in hand. Like he won't, you know, have like a Raw to Kree or an MST or something like that. If he summons, it's a wrap. If he summons, I'll torrential him so fucking fast. And that'll just be that. You see main phase 2, I'm just setting everything in my back row. Dark Arm Dragon is pretty much the ace in the hole. You know what I mean? Like if I can get Centipede, and he does have MST, of course, so no more Dust Tornado, which is fine because, you know, I wouldn't be able to Dust Tornado Gates right now anyway. I just have to blind Dust Tornado one of his back row. Call of the Haunted and Torrential were more important there. Call of the Haunted is really the only card that I really care about right now. He goes for Reckless Greed, which is what I didn't want him to do because, you know, now he has more gate. Well, yeah, he has gate options because he could easily just detach Master Key Beetle, target, you know, his other face down. Now he activated Dark World Dealings, and I was like, oh, thank God. You know, I can get rid of that. What's it called? I can get rid of that Hornet in my hand, get another card. Once again, he picks off one of my cards with Grapha, but it's Torrential Tribute. It's not the Call of the Haunted, which I'm perfectly fine with. As long as I keep that Call of the Haunted, I feel like I'm going to win this game. I lose Call of the Haunted, I lose this game easily. It's not even a contest unless I top deck Dragonfly. Dragonfly is just, you know, Dragonfly just changes games. So you see he's going into to Grapha, which I don't really care about. I mean, damage, I can afford to take a bunch of damage. What I can't afford to do is lose Call of the Haunted. So let's see. I'm taking 1,400 from that attack. I'm going to take 25 more on top, but the Call of the Haunted should be able to save the day. And he's under Reckless, so if he loses his Gates, he'll probably lose the game because right now the Gates is the draw engine that makes it so he's not locked out of his what's it called? It makes it so he's not locked out of his reckless greed. He puts what's it called? He puts his second counter on Grapha. That wasn't a bad move. And then he's gonna activate Gates, and I'm probably just gonna end up throwing a Brow down or something like that. Let's see what he does. Oh no, he has he has Brow, so he's gonna draw 2 cards. So definitely advantage him right now. I drew Ladybug, which was like, I could have drew something better. You see, I'm gonna drop Dark Iron Dragon because I have 3 darts in my graveyard. This is the only time. You see that Dark Arm is going to use this effect. I don't need Hopper at all, so definitely going to try and blow up that back row. Let's see what it is. I'm hoping that it's something like maybe a Gateway or you know, something that's just really not useful. He hasn't really shown me many traps in his deck except Smog and Reckless. It's Deck Devastation Virus. He tributes his Master Key Beetle away, which means he's not going to lose his protection. I'm not sure if I would have done that. I mean, I only had 2 cards in hand, so I don't really see what he was scared of unless he really thought that it was Dragonfly. You know what I mean? I lose my Ladybug in hand, which it didn't really matter. I mean, it could have been something I could have normal summoned, but you know, I can still just call in a Haunted into Centipede and get Dragonfly and normal summon that. So you see that I'm going to go Centipede. Centipede is going to go into Hornet. Hornet is going to pop Grapha. And let's see. I believe right now I'm going to go for I think I'm either going to go for Gigamantis or Dragonfly. Yep, I'm going for Dragonfly. I go into Dragonfly, and Dragonfly goes into Hornet. Hornet is going to pop Gate to the Dark World. And right now you can see that I'm kind of just, I mean, I don't want this game to be extended because personally I believe that it's in his favor. So right now I'm really just looking to go for game. And yeah, I'm going to get Centipede off the Dragonfly. Centipede should be able to, you know what, I got so many options here with me having Hopper into the graveyard or Hopper removed from game. I can go into Leviair, put more damage. It's not like I can't keep activating Centipede because you have to remember, I've got Dark Iron Dragon. Dark Iron Dragon can trigger the card's effects. You know, I can put Inzektor Hornet on Centipede, then I can banish the Ladybug to trigger the Centipede, which can get me Gigamantis, and then I can trigger that. I can summon Leviair for more damage. The options are extensive. You know what I mean? The options are extensive. And you see me looking through my extra deck. I'm trying to basically figure out what is the most effective way of getting to 8,000. I don't know why I'm thinking 8,000 right now when he's only at 6,400. You know what I mean? Like right now I'm looking, I'm like, all right, well, if I pop the Hornet that's on Centipede, that'll get me Gigamantis. I can equip Gigamantis to Dragonfly, and I can pop it using, you know, this card. And I'm like, I'm kind of outthinking myself right here. I tend to do that sometimes. And you can see I'm bringing up my my calculator because, you know, math fail. All right, so I'm like, all right, well, I've got 10 plus 16 plus 28 plus 21. How much damage am I up to? And, you know, the whole time I was trying to calculate 8,000, not even realizing that he was only at 6,400. Let's say I needed to put 8,000. I could have just popped, the Centipede, and I could have gotten Gigamantis, or I could have gotten Sword, and that would have put me at 8,000 right there. So, thank you guys for watching. As always, let me know what you guys think, and take care.